Blacksmith's son put the whole Japan on wheels by creating Honda. Hello and welcome to our channel InfoMostafiz. InfoMostafiz will absorb you into the world of technology and innovation, business, industries, and the economy of the world. Today we are going to tell you the story of a blacksmith's son who put the whole Japan on wheels by creating Honda, making our life easier and more comfortable and dynamic. Of course, the automotive industry is not restricted to Ford or Toyota, the majority of which we have long been aware of. So we'd want to give you the narrative today of a Japanese automotive manufacturer. It is well known for its outstanding dependability of quality and, more crucially, its affordability. You guessed correctly. Honda's name is Honda. But how did these famous Japanese come to be? How did the narrative of the vehicles begin? I'll tell you everything about it today. Soichiro Honda is widely regarded as the company's founding parent. In 1906, the future engineer was born in a blacksmith's family in a tiny town in Japan. The youngster assisted his father from his boyhood. Father who works as a blacksmith, and also contributed to the creation of a tiny family enterprise. Bicycle maintenance. The family was not present precisely well off. However, there was always enough money. While Soichiro had been dangling, he was always surrounded by his father. He quickly became attracted by a wide range of subjects, mechanisms. As a result, he utilized them to create something new every time. Soichiro's life was not all that different from millions of other people's lives, teenagers. But it didn't continue long because he departed in 1922. His keen interest in automobile mechanical components. This is what the aspiring engineer stated concerning his first experience with an automobile. Soichiro began his career as a trainee in Tokyo, alongside other students from various schools, towns and villages. It should be mentioned, said it took him around 6 years to properly comprehend this trade and earn the most experience possible. He used to labor and work out only for food. After a period, at the age of 22, the boy determined to return home, but he was not returning. He was empty-handed and really wanted to make something fresh. Soichiro did not sit down when he returned home aimlessly, and he eventually opened his own garage in his native village. Everything looked so simple now that he had mastered the trade. So he resolved not to just assist others fix their autos, which were only starting to gain popularity at the moment, but would also train influenced young individuals like himself. The first significant step of Soichiro's career was his replacement proposal. Wooden spokes in a bicycle wheel. Metal ones. It wasn't that long ago that even bicycle spokes and other compact automobiles were still available. Wooden. Actually, this concept did not come up by itself. Bring him recognition. Soichiro Honda established the first business in order to manufacture piston seals, named Tokei Seikai, and his first huge 6 months later, the order arrived from Tokyo. Furthermore, the purchase was so enormous that man had to construct his first plant in the shortest period of time in order to complete the order completely, as well as on time. What's interesting is that he was successful because of his own savings, in addition to loans and money he got as compensation from Toyota. Toyota, as a result, provided money to a potential competitor. The production was a success, and the quantity of available work vacancies has increased steadily. Time, the remainder of the industrial behemoth's sin. Japan also frequently used the Honda services, and the tiny business was confident, gaining traction. However, the corporation was then confronted with some difficult situations. During World War II, the company's facility was destroyed, badly bombed and entirely demolished. The devastation was exacerbated further by the earthquake of 1945. Soichiro decided to sell everything left over from his business at a low cost for just 450,000 yen, about $22,000. At the time, and since it occurred during Japan is under American occupation, the yen quickly dropped much further. As a consequence, Soichiro sold the facility for nearly nothing. Despite the fact that his funds were limited business principles, he put it into a new business, which he referred to as the Honda Technical. In 1946, a research institute, Soichiro worked at the firm, decided to experiment with adding a little motor to his bicycle, simply for fun, but the outcome of the experiment triggered the entrepreneur's enthusiasm. The newly developed motorcycle quickly became the man's primary mode of transportation. And then suicidal thoughts emerged. Seriously contemplating mass launch manufacturing of these motorcycles, and was forced to develop his own engine. Soichiro took roughly a year, but Honda had already released the first in 1948. Motorcycle referred to as Dream. The firm was also involved in manufacture of all additional components for motorcycles and motorbikes. Suicidal invited someone else into the business in the early 1950s. Takeo Fujisawa was his name, and he would Suicidal's business partner in no time, assuming corporate management and sales. It should also be noted that Takeo was trusted by Soichiro Honda. He did, however, concede that Takeo made a mistake. Soichiro is a far superior manager himself. In 1954, the entrepreneur suffered 2 years of difficulties. The first significant issue, despite the fact that his firm had a staggering 15% of the Japanese market, the car manufacturing did not reach the deadline. Each of the leaders had a unique need, opinions on the company's growth prospects. Fujisawa thought that an increase in profits would increase if sales increased. It would aid in multiplying the number of workers and factories. However, Honda's intentions were far more ambitious. He didn't simply fantasize about manufacturing outstanding racing motorbikes, but also of entering the worldwide market. Honda motorbikes, by the way, had already competed in races. In 1953, a motorcycle squad traveled to Brazil. In 1959, the company's racer finished 6th position in the TT race to the entire globe, as well as his. The company's racers captured the top 5 places. Nonetheless, despite all prejudices, Honda bikes were among the most popular, a handy mode of transportation. When an ordinary individual was presented with a decision of a motorcycle brand, Soichiro's work was his entire life. He decided to give it a go at the age of 56. Luck once again, and establish his own automobile line. It's also worth noting that he was forced to start everything from the ground up. After all, his whole output was concentrating just on two-wheel vehicles. However, automotive manufacturing was something very else. More daring, and, of course, greater cost. Honda competed in automobile racing for the first time in 1965. And that was the correct choice. Won the Mexican Grand Prix under the wheel of a RA 272 Honda. which were also consistently victorious for Honda since 1967. Honda has grown to become the largest motorbike manufacturer, worldwide manufacturer. That year, the firm celebrated its 25th birthday, and 3 years later, Honda sales Civic has exceeded 1 million automobiles. In 1982, a whole plant in Ohio opened up for business in order to manufacture this vehicle. In the same year, motorcycle sales reached 3.5 million things. Honda entered the market in 1986, robot design and manufacturing, and introduced the Osmo robot in 2000. The Honda NSX supercar was released in 1991, introduced V6 engine with variable valve timing. Acura vehicles were the most popular from 1990 to 1992. Best-selling vehicles in the United States. And Honda took third place. The quantity of automobiles sold. The major manufacturing plants of this ants may be found in Japan. The main sales regions are the America, India, and Brazil. The USA is symbolized by companies. Honda was the second most successful entrepreneur in the automotive industry after Ford. He founded 2 businesses during his lifetime. Charitable organizations. Many people live in Southeast Asia. Today, there are approximately 30 Honda factories in 15 countries. Countries from all over the world. Headquarters for Honda are in Minato, Tokyo, Japan. The firm celebrated its 70th anniversary in 2018. Thank you for watching, and if you liked it, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you again soon.